Your Excellency Dr. Kalam, Ambassador Magaravan, distinguished guests and friends from the Indian community in Ireland, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real privilege and a great honor to welcome to the University today His Excellency Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, President of India from 2002 to 2007. On behalf of the Provost of Trinity College, John Hegarty, of the Chancellor of the University, Mary Robinson, and the whole college community, I wish to extend our warmest welcomes to you on this momentous day for the college. We are extremely proud and grateful that you have included Trinity College on your visit to Ireland and that you have chosen the college to give to us a keynote address on your vision for the future of your great country. We are all very much looking forward to this speech, but before I invite you to deliver it, allow me to say that your visit comes at a very good moment for the college, as we are currently, on all levels, intensifying our engagement with India. Trinity has a long and distinguished history of strong links with India, dating back to the 18th and 19th century. We established a chair of Oriental languages in 1762, a chair of Sanskrit, and many other classical languages in the 19th century. The study of India was prominent, for example, in engineering. Our graduates were involved in the development of the Indian railways. They were involved in the geological survey. More than 150 graduates entered the Indian Civil Service, trained at Trinity's Indian Civil Service School. Most of the Trinity men who made a difference to India indeed graduated in this very hall, the public theatre, where our commencement ceremonies take place. Men like William Russell, James Adams, and perhaps most notably George Grierson, who spearheaded and edited the groundbreaking linguistic survey of India. This is history, a shared history between India and Ireland, but today we are building on this history and are renewing our intensive engagement with India. Last year, the college established the South Asia Initiative at Trinity College, which I have the privilege to chair. The aim of this initiative is to strengthen and focus teaching and research, particularly on India, to establish partnerships with cognate institutions in India, and to develop scholarly and outreach events relating to India and the wider region. It started as an initiative in the arts and humanities and is based in the Long Room Hub, our Humanities Research Institute, but it encompasses the whole range of disciplines across the humanities, social sciences, and sciences. Over 70 researchers across the universities are engaged with teaching and research on India and are in collaboration with Indian colleagues and institutions. We have a growing number of students from India at all levels and are extremely fortunate to have them contributing to our research strength. In our efforts to strengthen our engagement with India, we have been very generously supported by many individuals and groups from within the Indian community. And it is my very great privilege to be able to announce today, on this auspicious occasion and in this most distinguished company of Your Excellency, the establishment of 2 key posts in Indian studies, made possible by the generous support from the Indian community in Ireland and the Indian government. The first post, a lectureship in Indian history, is largely funded by the Indian community here in Ireland. The second one is a visiting professorship funded by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Both posts will form the nucleus of a future Centre for Indian Studies. They will transform our engagement with India and will enable our students to develop a much deeper understanding and appreciation of India's rich history, culture, and society. We are extremely grateful for the unprecedented generosity of the Indian community and the enthusiasm for this project. It is quite a unique and innovative form of collaboration, and I'm gratified that today I have the opportunity not only to announce these two posts, but to express on the occasion of your visit the college's deep gratitude for this crucial support in difficult times to many members of the Indian community who are present here today. This word of thanks goes to the whole Indian community and its organizations, but in particular to a number of its representatives whose vision and courage have been instrumental for realizing our ambitious plans and whose support and enthusiasm is extremely heartening and encouraging for the college. And I just mentioned, representing the whole community, Dr. Yaspir Singh Puri, Ms. Raka Puri, Mr. Gurgar Singh Chadha, Mrs. Baljinder Kaur Chadha, Mr. M.L. Shori, Mr. Ashish Diwan, and Mrs. Rupi Diwan. Our heartfelt thanks go out to you, and we are looking forward to an intensive and mutually beneficial and enriching cooperation in the years to come. I would also give a very sincere thanks to Lord Rana, who has been with the South Asia Initiative since in its inception, has been given us vital support, encouragement and advice, and has been instrumental for bringing Dr. Kalam here today. Our warmest thanks also go to Ambassador Raghavan, a true friend of the college, who could not have been more supportive, who is active on so many levels, and who is crucial for getting the generous support of the ICCR, the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. I would also like to mention and thank two members from our School of History and Humanities, two scholars in history, Professor David Dixon and Dr. Dina Heath, whose teaching and research on India has been enthusiastically welcomed by the students and the whole college community. And I just mentioned them as a pax pro toto for the whole community of scholars, which of course extends well beyond the history and humanities. Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce Dr. Kalam and invite him to speak, let me just mention the next event to which we hope to have you all back in college. On the 26th of July, we will be hosting the Ranji Plate, a cricket match between Indian and Irish team here on the cricket pitch just beside the library buildings. As was recently confirmed, Ireland is not so good in cricket against India. But despite this, it will be a good event, and it is an event that is to be repeated annually. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, Dr. Kalam was the 11th President of India from 2000 and 2007. He trained as an aeronautical engineer at one of India's top science institutions, the IIT at Madras. He was crucially involved in India's space and missile program and has been the government's principal scientific advisor in many roles and forms for decades. Before and during his presidency, he was one of the chief architects of India's policies on innovation through technology and education. His visions for India's future have inspired and encouraged millions of people all over India and beyond, and continue to do so. We welcome to the college Dr. Kalam as a most eminent scientist, as a writer and deeply committed educator for whom, like for us in the college here, the education of the coming generations holds the key to the future, not only of our society, but indeed of our planet. We welcome to the college a true visionary and humanitarian. It is my pleasure and privilege to invite Your Excellency to speak to us now on your vision for India as a developed country in 2020. The vision elevates the nation.
Friends, my greetings to all of you. And it's a beautiful day outside. when we go to see the sunshine. So wish you all the best. First of all, I would like to greet Dr. Yoga and Ambassador Raghav, members of the faculty and distinguished guests and dear students. I am delighted to be in Dublin, Ireland, and address the students and faculty members in the beautiful environment of Trintiy College. Ireland's history, high quality of life index, renowned education system, successful economic upturn in the decade following 1980s, contribution to science, and capability in lead and zinc production, and prominence in music, arts, literature, architecture, and sports. Of course, they will win tomorrow when they meet to India. Both of them should win. And architecture and sports have been fascinating to me. Hence, I have been looking forward to this first visit of mine to your country, Ireland, to directly acquaint myself with your past experience in economic reforms. I am sure you will have unique solutions to overcome the current economic turbulence. Recently, Dr. Ramaswamy, Secretary Science and Technology, who had visited Ireland with a senior team of scientists and held discussion with the Irish science team, informed me of their interaction with Ireland team, particularly in the areas of intensive collaboration in renewable energy, ICT, and related technologies. I am very happy to have met yesterday the President of Ireland and Her Excellency Mrs. MacLeod, and shared some of the potential areas of cooperation between our two nations. Friends, as you may be aware, I am promoting in my country what is called the energy independence through a three-dimensional approach using solar, wind, thorium-based nuclear reactors, and biofuel, so that India can be free from fossil fuel needs in few decades. I saw a website, Spirit of Ireland, that focuses the need for energy independence through wind hydropower. This futuristic program inspired me, and I am in discussion with experts. I am very happy to visit Dublin University, which has got the grand history of 420 years plus. I would like to congratulate the university and the college becoming one of the top 100 universities of the world. I am happy about the announcement of 2 academic posts for South Asia initiative just now, and particularly I would like to greet the Indian community in Ireland for contributing towards establishing the Center of Indian Studies with funding from the Indian community, and also Government of India. A chair, they have started, I understand, they will be chair of Indian Studies funded by the Government of India. Just now I visited Book of Kells and admired the books written in the 6th century AD, and also interacted with the students and faculty of Dublin today. Hi dear friends, when I am thinking of Ireland, I always like the statement of Lord Kelvin. Lord Kelvin, you know, the famous scientist, and he said, I am never content until I have constructed a model of a subject and study. If I succeed in making one, I understand, otherwise I do not. It was true, all of us have gone through the big statement of 1800 statement. I am very happy to come to the education capital of Ireland and interact with all of you. My greetings to all of you friends. You know, before starting my talk, I will like to share with you. If you ask yourself, what's the unique thing happened in the island of Ireland? If you ask me, I landed here in Ireland 10th of this month. And one unique thing happened here. That is the Good Friday Agreement in 1998. Good Friday Agreement 1998. This paves the way how conflicts can be resolved. And it's a great message we have in this country. So when I discuss the political leaders and many, since I am in the academy, we must promote this idea how conflict resolution can be done through keeping in front of us the Good Friday Peace Agreement with what happened in Ireland in 1998. So friends, I am coming to my topic, technology without borders, and I'm going to talk to you in a few minutes. In the last century, most nations understand that science and technology was the best vehicle for economic upliftment. However, the problems that science and technology was used to solve have been primarily local and customized to their needs. Today, the problem faced by the nations are no longer a concern of them alone. Humanity is devoting more and more attention to the climate change, energy, water, disease-free world, economic turbulence, and terrorism, which are all of us concern to the entire world, and the solution for which are beyond any individual nation or group of nations. If science and technology has to provide upliftment of our humanity, if the research and development are the areas with porous borders between them, and if the problems of the world know not of geographical borders, the education that becomes the foundation of all our science and technology, research and development also must be of necessity become borderless. When I was traveling recently in an aircraft in the United States, I was told that much of its control software were software driven and most probably developed in India. When I presented my credit card, I was told that it was being processed in the back-end server located in Mauritius. When I walked into IBM's Software Development Center, Bangalore, I was fascinated to find a truly representative multicultural environment. A software developer from China, working under a project leader from Korea, working with a software engineer from India, and a hardware architect from the US, and the communication expert from Germany, were all working together to solve the banking problem in Australia. So friends, when I see all of them working together like one family, forgetting about the culture from which they came or the language that they speak, I feel that the only hope for such borderless interaction to continue is to inculcate the spirit of borderlessness in our education also. Trintiy College is famous, its education research, and a big mission in front of them and many institutions. Through the technologies, like convergence and borderlessness have been of recent vintage. They have been embedded in the Indian environment. The first of the university in the world, which was established in 500 BC at Nalanda, had students from 91 countries, which is the icon of borderlessness. Ultimately, education in its real sense is the pursuit of the truth. It is an endless journey through knowledge and enlightenment. Such a journey opens up new vistas of development of humanism, where is neither scope nor room for pettiness, disharmony, jealousy, hatred, or enmity. It transforms a human being into a wholesome whole, a noble soul, and asset to the universe. Universal brotherhood, in its true sense, becomes the sheet anchor for such education. Real education enhances the dignity of a human being and increases his or her self-respect. If only the real sense of education could be realized by each individual and carried forward in every field of human activity, the world will be a much better place to live in. Dear friends, during my entire professional career, I was associated with mission mode projects that cut across functional disciplines. Progressively, this experience led me, probably as a natural course, to the area of national vision formulation and implementation through integrated action on multiple facets of development. I also took interest in studying the pursuits of different countries in their strategic vision approaches. Whatever be the degree of development of the nation, whether they are different economically, politically, or geographically, there is one common theme among all the nations. That is the vision for the nation to give better quality of life to all their citizens and to ensure that citizens' aspiration to live in a prosperous, peaceful environment are fulfilled. There is also a common responsibility of the nations doing their part to sustain and protect the planet Earth for current and future generations. There is also need to ensure that even with the growing overall global population and dwindling resources, there is an equitable growth and the humanity is protected against shortages in resources like energy, water, through innovative technologies. It is in this context that vision of individual nations are important. Development of a nation is key to the development of a various regions in the world, which is crucial for peace and prosperity of the world as a whole. I was pursuing strategies for 2020 to achieve a better balance of social, economic, and physical development by more effective and integrated planning. I was happy to note some identified themes. Friends, with this background, let me now share with you a few thoughts. The vision elevates the nation with the example of India. What I am going to talk about India is true to many nations. Let me share with you my experience in the mid-1996 on formulation of Indian Vision 2020 strategies. I was given the task of chairing a technology, information, forecasting and assessment council IFAC. I recollect that the first meeting of the council itself, we took a decision that IFAC must evolve a plan how India can be transformed into an economically developed nation by the year 2020. When the suggestion was good that everybody was wondering how we can solve such a long-term mission, how we can evolve such a long-term mission under then prevailing economic and social conditions of the nation. That was the time then the Prime Minister has just announced the economic liberalization and growth measure for Indian economy, and its impact had just started being felt. In spite of this, the TICA Council, with many young members, jumped into the idea, and we discussed for one full day on how we can translate the thought into action. At a time when the economy was growing at around 5 to 6% per annum in GDP, we had to envisage a growth rate of 10% per annum consistently for over 10 years for realizing the development of a vision of billion democratic people of multilingual and multi-religious and multicultural characteristics. This really ignited the minds of all of us in the council. We debated and arrived at 17 task teams with over 500 members who had consultation with over 5,000 people in various sectors of the economy. The task teams worked for over 2 years, resulting in 25 reports, which we presented in then the Prime Minister of India on 2nd August 1996. Transforming India into a developed nation implies that every citizen of the country lives well above the poverty line. Their education and healthcare is of high standard, national security assured, and with core competence in these certain major areas enable production of quality goods competitively, including for export, bringing all-round prosperity for the country, for the citizens. This event also led to the birth of a book, India 2020, a vision for the new millennium. Based on various inputs, the government announced the vision statement that India will become a developed nation by 2020. Such a statement is very rare, since every government is elected only for 5 years or 7 years, and thinking of over 20 years time frame by the parliament and the government is a fresh breeze. This movement had multiple actions, including presentation to the parliament members, as the President of India, state governors conferences, and suggesting plans of action towards state assemblies on mission for prosperity after detailed study on their present status, on the key development indices and time-bound targets, their core competence, the region-specific challenges, and the viable integrated missions. The media, both print and electronic, propagated the mission for prosperity to the whole state with the discussion and further suggestion through special articles and editorials for implementation. These augmented the tremendous amount of work being done by the people of the state, the legislature, the state government, and all the political parties. Further discussion were held in the local universities and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry so that they can propagate the mission for prosperity among the members and formulate their plans consistent with the development goals of the state. Similarly, the education institution structured the courses in such a way that the capacity is built among the students to take up development missions. The central business institutions such as FICCI, CI, ASSOCHAM enabled positive discussion on the vision. Also, I personally communicated with special articles and editorials for implementation. These augmented the tremendous amount of work being done by the people of the state, the legislature, the state government, and all the political parties. Further discussion were held in the local universities and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry so that they can propagate the mission for prosperity among the members and formulate their plans consistent with the development goals of the state. Similarly, the education institution structured the courses in such a way that the capacity is built among the students to take up development missions. The central business institutions such as FICCI, CI, ASSOCHAM enabled positive discussion on the vision. Also, I personally communicated with over 5 million youth on the vision for the nation throughout the country, while participating in various interactions in schools, colleges and professional institutions. The vision was also theme for President's national address during the Republic Days and Independence Days. I am happy that this Vision India 2020 has touched the hearts of the country in all walks of life. They ask what we can contribute. This movement has led to the incorporation of the vision in national plans, state plans, departmental plans, education plans, health plans, employment plans, and infrastructure plans of the nation. Now, I would like to give my visualization of India in 2020, how to look like the development profile of the nation. A nation where the rural and the urban divide has reduced to a thin line. A nation where there is an equitable distribution and adequate access to energy and quality water. A nation where agriculture, industry, service sector work together in symphony. A nation where education with value system is not denied to any meritorious candidates because of societal or economic discrimination. A nation which is the best destination for the most talented scholars, scientists and investors. A nation where the best of healthcare is available to all. A nation where the governance is responsive and transparent. A nation where poverty has been totally eradicated, illiteracy removed, and none in the society feels alienated. A nation that is prosperous, healthy, secure, and devoid of terrorism, peaceful and happy, and continues with a sustained growth path. A nation that is one of the best places to live in and proud of its leadership. Now, how to realize this? To achieve this distinct profile, 10 points I have conveyed. To achieve the distinct profile of India, we have the vision of transforming India into a developed nation. We have identified 5 areas where India has got a core competence for integrated action: agriculture and food process, information communication technology, reliable and quality electric power, surface transport and infrastructure for all parts of the country. Finally, the self-reliance in critical technologies. These 5 areas are closely interrelated. By progressing in a coordinated way, will lead to a food, economic and national security. During my visit to different parts of my country and during my discussion with many citizens, the results of such integrated efforts have started becoming visible. Now, what is the current average? Indian economy was growing at an average of 8 to 9% per annum till the last year. Now this year, the Indian economy has got affected due to the global economic turbulence. I was asking myself, what type of innovation is needed to benefit the Indian economy and the other world economies in the present circumstances. I was teaching in September, October, November, and I had discussion in IAM University, IAM Ahmedabad, I had discussion on this subject with many economic experts and technology experts. It came to light that the Indian economy will be less affected due to the global financial crisis. This is due to number one, the liberalization process in India has checks and balances consistent with the unique social requirement of the country. Two, the Indian banking system has always been conservative, which prevented the crisis. Third one, the Indian side, wherever they are, the Indian side is generally saving oriented and living within the means is a part of the mindset. These three causes have reduced the effect of global turbulence in Indian economy. However, there is a large reduction in export and reduction in outsourcing. The drop in annual growth rate of GDP could be around 2% to 3%. This is the time we in India need innovation in our thinking to regenerate the agriculture sector, particularly through value addition and the small and medium scale industry and the enterprises for making higher level of contribution to the GDP. Simultaneously, we have to enhance the rural and urban infrastructure, particularly through the establishment of 7,000 complexes spread in different parts of the country. The mission of Pura is the employment generation with value-added skills through connectivities. The investment in these three areas will not only provide value-added employment to our citizens and will generate higher growth in the economic activity. Innovation has to come into action. Innovation has to come into action to strengthen the economy and progress the development of the nation. One major mission is the development of infrastructure for bringing rural prosperity and through provision of urban amenities in the rural areas through creation of three connectivities. Here I am showing here three connectivities, namely physical, electronic and knowledge leading to economic connectivity. The number of crores for the whole country is estimated to be 7,000, covering 600,000 villages where 700 million people, 70% of the people live. Government is planning to implement 2 puras per district across 600 districts in the nation. There are a number of operational puras in the country initiated by many educational healthcare institutions, industry and NGOs. Pura has become an important development activity for bridging the gap in GDP growth arising out of the present economic conditions. I would like to present one operational Pura. I inaugurated the Periyar Pura, providing urban and rural area, during the year 2003. This Pura envisages provision of physical connectivity, electronic connectivity and knowledge connectivity leading to economic connectivity. I studied the impact of implementing the Pura in Tanjavur district of southern part of India. Over a 5 years period, I find the implementation of the Pura has enabled accelerated development 65 villages having a population of 100,000 people. It has reduced the migration from the rural to urban areas, improved the quality of life, improved the employment opportunities, enhanced the agricultural productivity, increased the level of literacy and availability of the better rural infrastructure. In particular, cultivatable areas increased from 32,000 acres to 36,000 acres. The farmers have taken up horticulture crops, medicinal plants and crops needing less water, for increasing their revenues through round-the-year farming. Agriculture skills has been enhanced through special program for over 2,500 women. Knowledge development in Periyarpura has been enhanced through the vocational training, state-of-art skill development program, and facilities for higher education in the rural complex itself. This has resulted in increasing the overall literacy by over 10% and the movement to higher education to additional 5% of the people. 5,000 women self-help groups have been created, resulting in production of very composite FRP products, embroidery, bakery, hair products, and hollow block structural units. The income level of the farmers is doubled during the 5-year period through farm and non-farm revenues. The villages have all been provided with sanitary facilities, and periodically health checkup has been organized through medical camps and social service camps, leading to early detection of a problem and quality treatment. All this has been accomplished through the innovation in Pura. In a knowledge society, once you are all there in knowledge society, we have to make innovation continuously. Innovation comes through creativity. Creativity comes from beautiful minds. It can be anywhere, any part of the world. It may start from a fisherman hamlet, or a farmer's household, or a dairy farm, or a cattle breeding center, or it could emanate from the classrooms or laboratories or industries or R&D centers. Creativity has got multi-dimensions like innovation, discoveries. Creative mind has the ability to imagine or invent something new by combining, changing or reapplying existing ideas. Creative person has an attitude to accept change, newness, a willingness to play with ideas and possibilities, a flexibility of outlook, the habit of enjoying the good while looking for a way to improve. Creativity is a process through which we can continuously improve the ideas and find unique solutions by making gradual alterations and refinement to our works. The important aspect of creativity is seeing the same thing as everybody else, but thinking of something different. Vision elevates the creativity. Now, in conclusion, dear friends, economic prosperity alone cannot lead to a happy and peaceful society. The society has got to be built around a noble value system based on its civilizational heritage, with unity of mind in diversity as a focus in a democratic environment. The combination of economic prosperity, which we have a vision, the righteousness citizens will evolve a noble nation. How do we achieve this? Not only in India, everywhere. How do you achieve this? In India, I have visited many spiritual centers. In one of the centers, I heard a hymn which is unique and present. How great families and great nation and peace in the world can be met. And one hymn, the whole idea has been generated. I am going to recite to all of you. Will you repeat it to me? Yeah? Or you are hungry? Will you repeat what I say?
Yeah.
This is about the righteousness. Okay? It is about the righteousness. Where you are hungry. Where there is righteousness in the heart. There is beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world. righteousness in the heart, one thing, if you have, many things is possible. Beauty in the character possible, harmony in the home possible, order in the name possible, and that peace in the world possible. One thing, righteous in the heart. Righteous in the heart. Who will do that? Guess. Righteous in the heart, who can? Yes, young fellows can think. Righteous in the heart, who can? Only three people can be. Father, mother, in the spiritual environment. Your family should be in the spiritual environment. Third one, can you guess at least now? Only 50 marks, what you said. It's a primary school teacher. Okay? Father, mother, the spiritual environment, and the primary school teachers. These are the three people can give the righteousness in you. So friends, in conclusion, I believe it's possible to evolve a noble nation with a combination of economic prosperity and the righteous in the heart. With the basic foundation, our people can live in a green, clean environment without pollution, having prosperity without poverty, peace without fear of war, and a happy place to the live for all citizens of the nation. And India can become one of the states for the evolution of a noble society in the planet here. My best wishes to all of you for success in your missions in every country. May God bless you all. Question, I will take maximum 8 questions, okay? It's because, not because of my problem, your problem, you are all hungry. 8 questions, yes sir, yes sir. Go ahead.
Sir, Dr. Kalam as a president or Dr. Kalam as a prime minister, would you do better being a prime minister of India or you did better as a president of India?
Well, I believe our constitution was framed in 1950, Indian Constitution 1950. We are in 2009. It looks to me the president position very well defined in the Constitution. Prime Minister position well defined in the Constitution. Our democracy working from 1947 to 2009 very well. Okay? So guys, backseat guys, you can come here, 4 or 5 guys. Yeah. Backseat fellows, if you can come, 4 guys can come, 4 or 5 guys come in the front. Otherwise you will be left out. Only the front seat fellows will ask. Yeah, they come like that. Here, you come. 5 people come. Okay. Backbenchers. I'm a teacher, I always prefer backbenchers. I ask the questions, you know. Okay, go ahead.
Sir, listening to you has been for me a dream come true.
Yes.
And
what is the question?
The question is that any vision needs a dedicated leader to make it, to realize it. So how would you define a dedicated leader? What is your definition of a leader?
This is what I say leader. What I feel, leaders have given the vision for the nation, okay? That India should get transformed by 2020. What is needed today? India has got everything. You've got the material, you've got the money, you've got the biodiversity, you've got the water. Now, I personally believe one thing shortage in India. One thing shortage. What is that? One thing shortage. That 540 million youth, yes? You want to say something? Let's say. You are doing like this, you are not saying anything. So, the 540 million youth, 50% of the people, they have to say, I can do it confidently. That I can do it, we can do it, India can do it. Okay? That's what many people cross the oceans, you come to different parts of the world. When you are learning, you learn. What important, when you come back to the nation, you must say, I am confident that you do it. That's what leaders are, no problem. Okay, next question.
Dr. Kalam, how do we institutionalize leadership and creativity in India? I'll give you two examples. We have 90% engineers in Microsoft, but not one Bill Gates in India. And we have 10% of all top business schools are Indian students, but we do not have 10% CEOs in the business world. So how do we get leadership out in India?
What you are saying, you are not updated now. Something like this. We are producing 230 million tons of milk. Okay? We were producing 1960s 30 million tons. Second thing is we export software nearly 50 to 60 billion dollars. And then internally we use 20 to 30 billion dollars of software for e-governance, telemedicine, teleeducation. Third thing in pharma area, India's cost-effective drugs are coming in India and exporting everywhere. And the education system, the secondary education as well as the higher education do it very well. But primary education, that is our problem. Then creativity of the children should be brought in the elementary school stage. That's why government is going to deploy the free education, compulsory education by next year onwards. And even now, the women education is going to become a very important parameter so that our population is properly managed. Okay? There are many good things are there. Some problem, who will not have a problem in a nation? My teacher used to say, if you don't do anything, no problem. Isn't it? But if you do a major mission, problem should be there. Problem should not become your captain. You should become the captain of the problem, defeat the problem and succeed. Okay? No, here. You can go. Yes.
Dr. Kalam, my name is Mohammed Ahmed. Regarding your talk on the vision heritage nation, you're more or less looking on India 2020. What, according to you, do you think India is really achieving that plan? Because it's only 11 years left and see current scenario everything can make it. Whatever current political and economic goals.
I have given the solution. Solution is the exports reduced, okay, and the outsourcing reduced. It doesn't matter because you've got a 350 million people, middle class resources, and what we have to fund our rural area, 600,000 villages where 700 people live, and rural prosperity we have to bring in by physical connectivity, electronic connectivity, knowledge connectivity, so that the economic activity will come. If we spend it, then GDP will grow. Okay? That's it. Next. What inspired me?
What inspired you to be more
Yeah, sir, you are the same fellow. No, it is like this. Basically, I am a rocket technology. I built a satellite module for space. The rocket is a common factor for missile or satellite launch vehicle. So I worked 20 years in ISRO, 20 years in defense, DRDO. And I found that when you have many of your neighbors armed with missiles and nuclear weapons, you cannot do others. Okay? So that's how I have made certain type, my team has made certain type of missile to strengthen the defense. It is not always a defense, that is you don't deploy. That is the first use is not there for India. When somebody gives you trouble, then you lose. Yes.
Dr. Abdul Kalam, thank you very much for a very inspiring talk this afternoon. You mentioned at the beginning of the talk the Good Friday Agreement, and just now you spoke about nuclear missiles as well. What, in your opinion, is your vision for long-term peace and stability between India and Pakistan?
Well, as somebody last week asked me a question, I had 75,000 young folks below 17, and that crowd had Pakistan students also. So the Pakistan student asked me, Kalam, the same question you asked. Any time, is it possible India and Pakistan will work for development together, remove their common enemies, disease and poverty? How to answer that? Answer is the following. Answer is the following. Europe was fighting hundreds of years, you know that. Hundreds of years they had a war between country to country. And they had 2 world wars. World War I and II they generated. But by April 2007, I addressed European Parliament. Okay? When I addressed, I realized the people were war friends for 100 years. They can be the peace friend and prosperity friend also. Okay? So I am saying to you question, looking at the type of thing what happened in the European Union coming together, and the peace process what happened in Ireland on a Good Friday day, these 2 examples indicates we can work for together nation. Yes, sir. Shout. If Mike is not there, shout.
For the development of India, do you think the Indian youth who is currently in Ireland should go back to India after the education, or do you think is it okay to work from here?
See, all of you who guys come there for education, you will do 2 things. Okay? One thing, you may get settled down here. Okay? Another thing, you will come back. If you are settled down in the country where you are studying, you must contribute to the nation where you have settled. You are coming back to India. For all of you, it's not only this girl and you who are studying here or working here. If you are coming back, come with the armed with that instead of employment seeker as the employment generators. You can learn here how to generate employment. Bring the experience how to become the employment generators. Okay? Understand? Will you do it? Over? Yes. Yes. Only 2 more questions. Yes. 3 questions. How many are there for questions? 3. Keep your very good. Very good question. It is like this. There is a politics, it can be defined. Politics equal to political politics plus developmental politics. That's the definition. Political politics, any country, they fight for becoming a parliament members. Okay? Naturally, it's a good fight. They have to fight with parties. Now, development politics, they will announce, my party will make the nation in 10 years economically developed. Another party will say, in 7 years I will do with good citizens also I will create. That is development politics. Now, India's general election which took place recently, where 700 million people went for voting, were eligible for voting, nearly 60% of the people went for voting. They proved one thing, that Indian citizens are for development politics, not the political politics. Political party you have to do 30% of the time. 70% of the time you have to do the development politics. The trend is setting now. Development politics people will be re-elected. Okay, if you do the development for the nation, re-elected. You are joining at the correct time. Wish you all the best.
One question. I think most Indians believe that India has the talent, resources, and the leadership to implement what it sets out to do. But I think one of the problems that we need to address is to make sure that the initiative reaches the people that it's intended for, and it's not hijacked through corruption or selfishness.
Yeah.
How can we address that?
See, I personally believe that the leadership, just now I told a political person who wants to become a politics, if you do the economic development, definitely it will be, he is the winner, he or she is the winner. Second thing is how to remove the flow of money, how to see that flow of money reaches the people. That's why the Pura, which I have explained for 10 minutes, I explained, providing urban amenities in rural area, that controls the flow of fund, maximum it goes and the results are revealed. But many of you are interested, what is the type of leadership you are interested, okay? Not only you are asking, many people asked me just now. So I have defined the leader like that. Leader must have the vision. The leader should be visionary. Leader must have passion to realize the vision. Not vision alone, not vision. He or she should have passion to realize the vision. Leader must be able to travel into an unexplored path, not the explored path. And leader must know how to manage a success and failure. Success and failure. And leader must have a courage to take the decision. Leader should have a nobility in management. Nobility in management. You all learn nobility in management. Leader should be transparent in every action. Most importantly, if you want to be a leader, you have to decide today. Leader must work with integrity and succeed. Very tough. How many of you will work with integrity and succeed with integrity? How many of you? How many of you? Why? Only few hands are coming in. That's not good. 21st century leaders, one of the foundation for them, leader must work with integrity and succeed with integrity. Next question. Last one.
The statement, the vision, elevates the nation is very
Keep it like this.
very superb statement.
Keep like that.
I just would like to know, like, to meet this statement, do you believe that this could be done by bringing the change in the constitutional laws and customized democracy? Because it is believed that the Indian constitution hasn't changed since 1950. And again, looking back at the political scenario, the reality of Indian politics is something like, it's a garbage bin, like, you cannot even recycle it, like political system. So how do you think, or how do we think, like, we can meet in the real world and real life?
See, the political system, one of the important things is, if you have a great idea, just like a young man just now I saw him, you want to join in politics, make a change. You have to do that. You got, see, and you have the right to elect the right folks. You have got to vote to the right, and the two things you are there. You have to make it your mind that if you find politics not doing all right, you join the politics, work for it, and people, the leaders have to come only when they do what others cannot do the job. Second thing is, you can't complain. You elect a guy with voting, democracy, and then you say, I have elected the wrong fellow. You are the cause of it. But anyway, my suggestion is, we have to use the vote carefully. Okay? Okay, next, last.
How do you feel that WTO demands on India will affect your plans for economic uplift and balancing urban and rural social life? And how will it rejuvenate the agricultural sector?
I didn't get you. You are fast. Slowly, slowly. Yeah, go on.
How do you feel WTO demands on India, seen recently in the Doha negotiations, will affect your plans for economic uplift and the balancing of urban and rural social life? And how will you manage to rejuvenate the agricultural sector in India?
See, I personally believe the global order, you have to, the future will be a borderless world, okay? Whether science, technology, or business, it's as simple as it is. We are developed country, to remain developed country, it has to produce product cost effectively, competitively, market. The developing country which wants to become a developed country, that also has to produce competitively and market it. So common factor, competitiveness. So competitiveness has got three dimensions: cost, quality, and the just in market which we are. It looks to me, we have to live in the globalized world we have to live. If you have a dream to be the developed economy, I have to do competitively, produce product and market. Okay? Okay, friends? Okay?